customary that when we hear the drum beat, we fall silent to its call. For it is the heartbeat of the mother calling us into her awareness. This morning we speak to the mother spirit of Sojourner Truth. Sojourner, Sojourner Truth. Your spirit calls to us as you were called by God to spread the truth of the gospel to all who would hear. We honor you, dear Sojourner, for the gift you gave to each of us, a legacy of strength, power, and perseverance, and above all, a legacy of truth and justice. Today we honor you, Sojourner, but in doing so, we must also recognize those courageous women who stood with you, who stood on your shoulders to make our world a better place for all humankind, for all women, for all black women. We think of you, Sojourner, when we call the glorious names of Harriet Tubman, Ida B. Wells, Rosa Parks, Coretta Scott King, Fannie Lou Hamer, Dorothy Irene Height, Ella Baker, Septima Clark, Madam C.J. Walker, Zora Neale Hurston, Shirley Chisholm, Barbara Jordan, C. Dolores Tucker, Juanita Millender McDonald, Julia Carson, Stephanie Tubb Jones, who in their spirit say, I am Sojourner. I am Sojourner. I am Sojourner. I am Sojourner Truth. Blessings and greetings to you, and we welcome you this morning in the name of the Creator, of our ancestors, of the strength of the feminine energy that continues to live on the planet. We welcome you to the Sojourner Truth Tribute, hosted by the Congressional Black Caucus Foundation. And we ask that you join us in showing our love and honoring the energy of our sister, Taka Basadi Sato, for her incredible call of the drum this morning. We are here this morning to celebrate the powerful legacy of Sojourner Truth, the legacy that she left for us as women, as mothers, as community leaders, as civic leaders. We continue to work on behalf of women's rights in her name. Sojourner Truth set a standard before us. And in the effort to stand on that legacy and to move that legacy forward, we gather here today with some of our most powerful women leaders and community leaders to pay homage and honor to her. Let me just say that in an effort to honor her in a timely manner and to keep the program moving, I want to tell you what we're going to do. We're going to call two people at a time. When the first person comes to the podium, the second person will be at the ever ready. And I will call the first person, and then the second person will come so that we can share and move forward quickly. Let me begin by introducing and calling forward Sergeant Denise Garrett and my beloved sister, Bishop Vasti McKenzie, who's at the ever ready. Sergeant Garrett is a member of the District of Columbia Police Department, and she will lead us this morning in Lift Every Voice and Sing, the Negro National Anthem. My sister, our beloved Bishop Vasti McKenzie, is a bishop of the 13th Episcopal District of the African Methodist Episcopal Church. She is the first, okay? Did I mention she was the first?
Right.
The first bishop, did I mention that?
Right.
I wanted you to know that she was the first bishop ever appointed by the Episcopal Church.
First woman.
First female, yes. Well, is there anything else to talk about?
That's right, come on.
She is also the national chaplain of the Delta Sigma Theta sorority. All my Alpha sisters, please forgive me for having to mention that early this morning. She is also the granddaughter of the Delta founder, the founder of the Deltas, Vashti Turley Murphy. She will recite for us this morning the Litany of Truth. Right now, we welcome Sergeant Denise Garrett.
Lift every voice and sing till earth and heaven ring, ring with the harmonies of liberty. Let our rejoicing rise high as the listening skies. Let it resound loud as the rolling sea. Sing a song full of the faith that the dark past has taught us. Sing a song full of the hope that the present has brought us. Facing the rising sun of our new day begun. Let us march on till victory is won.
Please remain standing. The litany is found in your program, and let us respond as so indicated. O God, our help in ages past, our hope for years to come, we pause to look back over the way we've come, and at the same time look ahead to the way we need to go. The truth marches on. Shower your blessings upon us as we remember that everyone who is a child of God conquers the world, and that the victory that conquers the world is our faith. The truth marches on. Since nothing is impossible with you, we stand in awesome wonder at your servant, Sojourner Truth, for whom the impossible seemed routine. The truth marches on. We lift our voices in solemn praise as we pause to remember. We pause to remember the well-worn road traveled by Sojourner Truth. The truth marches on. We pause to remember how enslavement did not hold back her intellect, how the praxis of inhumane and unjust laws couldn't capture her indomitable spirit, how exclusionary tactics couldn't contain her desire to serve a higher power. The truth marches on. We pause to remember her powerful words, eloquent speeches, and her bold stand for women's rights, voting rights, freedom, and the right to full participation and partnership in the American enterprise. The truth marches on. Thank you for giving us this day to honor a unique woman of first who risked her life to speak truth when speaking truth could cost you more than you were willing to pay. The truth marches on. Thank you for this moment that reminds us that we can speak truth to power. Remember that truth will prevail against the vilest lies, the truth that is liberating for the speaker and the hearer, the truth that continues a forward march, harmonizing the discords of injustice. The truth marches on. Remember her lifting truth that confronted fears and phobias, a living truth that broke the chains of social, intellectual, and physical incarceration. The truth marches on. Help us to remember Sojourner Truth. May her legacy energize and stir up the multitude of gifts you've given us, so that our daughters' daughters and their daughters after them will be brave and bold articulators of truth, closing the gap between policy and practice until justice flows like a mighty river. The truth marches on. In remembering, help us to renew our commitment to truth, champion a cause that has not touched our homes but our hearts, be a voice for those who have not found theirs, support boldly the cause of freedom wherever we are, so that our freedom won't mean the enslavement of anybody else. The truth marches on. And in remembering, give us your vision for the future. Help us to plow new ground, plant seeds in good soil, so that the harvest will be for all of us, not just some of us. Together, the truth keeps marching on towards us. We, the daughters of truth, will keep marching forward because the truth sets us free. She who has been set free is free indeed. God bless you.
Again, we thank Sergeant Denise Garrett and Bishop Vasti McKenzie. Please show your love for them. May I invite you to sit, or is it just that you love to stand there so that we can see how gorgeous you are this morning? You want to stand? Okay. I now have the pleasure of introducing to you our host for this morning, our hostesses for this morning, Congresswoman Barbara Lee and Congresswoman Carolyn Cheeks Kilpatrick. Please give them some love. Congresswoman Barbara Lee is the Congressional Black Caucus chairwoman person. And she is co-chair of the Congressional Progressive Caucus. She's been in Congress since 1998 in the California's 9th District. She is a national hero to us as a woman, a black woman who took a stand against the war. Congresswoman Kilpatrick is the Sojourner Truth Tribute Chairperson. She has been, yes, give her some love, come on. It's all right. She has been in Congress since 1997 and represents Michigan's 13th District. She served as the chairwoman of the Congressional Black Caucus in the 110th Congress from 2007 to 2008. Currently, thank you goodness, she serves on the Appropriations Committee, because you know we know how to work with the money. Congresswoman Lee and Congresswoman Kilpatrick will welcome our guests and explain why we are all here. Now, I believe that as African people, we have power not only in our mouth, but in our hands. So I'm going to ask you to extend your hands toward our two sisters and just send them some love. Send them some love not only for today, send them some love in Congress for this year. Send them some love for traveling mercies. Send them some love so that all that they do on our behalf will be lifted to the highest and most elegant place with grace and ease, and that they will have fun in the process. Send them some love because they represent the embodiment of Sojourner Truth. Send them some love for their obedience and bringing this tribute to bear. Just send them some love because you got the power. They need the power. They give us their power so that we all become powerful. Just send them some love. Amen. Thank you. Congresswoman Lee and Congresswoman Kilpatrick.
Good morning.
Good morning.
Thank you, my sister, for your love and for your voice and for your spirit. And thank you for being here with us this morning. And thank all of you, my sojourners, for being with us this morning, for helping us to really recommit ourselves to the life and the legacy of Sojourner, her journey. That we recommit ourselves to continuing her legacy, and that we would learn to embrace and lift up all of our sisters, especially our young sisters, from all walks of life. So thank you for joining us this morning, and I just have to acknowledge our chair of this event, Congresswoman Carolyn Cheeks Kilpatrick, who has always been my friend, but also let me just say her work speaks for itself, but her spirit embodies the spirit of Sojourner. And thank you, Carolyn, my sister, for your friendship and for your love. And I tell you, she has helped me make this transition into chair. She's established a high standard. And so, Carolyn, thank you so much. She's there for me. She's there for you. She's there for all of God's children. Let me also take a moment to introduce, and I want you to greet the members of the Congressional Black Caucus who each and every day work in the spirit of Sojourner to create the change that Sojourner fought for, lived for, died for. First, I'd like to introduce the co-chairs of this ALC weekend who have worked day and night to put it together. I'm going to start with my sister from New York, Congresswoman Yvette Clarke. Give Yvette Clarke a round of applause. Hasn't she done a great job? And her partner, Congressman Shaka Fattah from the great state of Pennsylvania. He and Yvette have been such a good team and have put this weekend together. Aren't you enjoying yourself? Isn't this a great weekend? Thank you, Shaka. Congresswoman Donna Edwards from the great state of Maryland is with us today. There's a new sister caucus. Congresswoman Edwards, Congresswoman Marcia Fudge from the state of Ohio is with us. We're going to go to Congresswoman Diane Watson from Southern California, my state of California. Congresswoman Laura Richardson from California, Southern California, my home. Of course, our colleague, Congresswoman Eva Clay, retired, I don't know, a few years ago, but still she's our colleague here doing Sojourner's work. Congresswoman Eva Clay, North Carolina. And our mentor, a woman who we love and we continue to work with and who continues to direct us, Congresswoman Carrie Meek from the state of Florida, former member of the Appropriations Committee. And now I'd like to introduce my sister from Texas who, when this movement started, which really, and I have to first say, we have to remember and honor C. Dolores this morning. C. Dolores Tucker, who we all work for. And her husband, Mr. Tucker, is here. Mr. Tucker, would you stand, please? Because we wouldn't be here today this far if it hadn't been for you and C. Dolores. So we remember C. Dolores today, and we thank her, and we honor her legacy. And when we wanted to honor Sojourner in the United States Capitol with the sculpture, a bust of this great woman, we had some resistance, you know, by the powers that be. But our colleague, Congresswoman Sheila Jackson Lee, would you please stand up, Sheila? Right. Sheila took it on. Give Sheila a round of applause. Sheila took this on, and she and C. Dolores together, nothing could stop them. Nothing could stop them. And so, Sheila, we honor you today, and we thank you so much for the resolution and for making sure we got that passed, and which culminated in a beautiful ceremony this year. So thank you again. Let me now thank, where's Dr. Scott and the CBC Foundation, right. Patrice, my staff, Congresswoman Kilpatrick's staff, all of the staff, please stand, and Reverend Barbara Skinner, yes. Dr. Barbara Skinner. You know, today didn't just happen. Mm-hmm. We had a little discussion, we had a vision, we talked to a few people, and then the work started. And so I just have to thank all of you for never wavering. And our sponsors, I want to thank them so much for coming through and for helping us today, because this really is a day that's the beginning of something. And Congresswoman Kilpatrick and myself will just talk a little bit about our vision, but we want to thank all of you for making this possible. Sojourner Truth once said that if the first woman God ever made was strong enough to turn the world upside down all alone, these women together ought to be able to turn it back and get it right side up again. So today, it is the time for African American women to take our rightful place and to let our voices be heard, because we know that we can and we will turn the world right side up again. We will do that. We will do that. So as we remember Sojourner and these great women of our past, of course, Shirley Chisholm was my mentor. She got me involved in politics. Faye, thank you very much. Glad to see you here this morning. Faye Williams is here with us, and I'm sure we'll talk with you a little later about some of the things that you're doing, but thank you again for staying strong. But Shirley Chisholm, Sojourner Truth, all of these great women of our past, we also celebrate the promise of those women yet unborn, yet unborn. And we dedicate our lives so that they may have more opportunities and fewer battles to fight. That's what we have to do. That's what our life is about. So it's with this spirit that we lift up Sojourner Truth today with love and with gratitude, and we honor her legacy with our fight for justice and equality. And so today is the beginning of our Sojourner movement. And we're going to talk, and Congresswoman Carolyn Cheeks Kilpatrick, myself, Reverend Skinner, our committee, Congresswoman Watson, all of us, Jackson Lee, the entire 14 great women of the Congressional Black Caucus. We're 14 of us. 14 of us. We're talking about a Sojourner movement, and of course Congresswoman Kilpatrick and myself are talking about our young girls, maybe how to be godmothers to our young girls, how to look at best practices of our federal government and our state and local governments so that we can empower young women to take over. And we want to do this throughout the country, of course, starting in Detroit, and then Oakland, California, and anywhere else that our 14 women want us to come. Amen. And so we will be discussing this today and throughout the weekend. But I just want to thank you again for your presence here this morning. And I want to ask you to, as you move through this weekend, as we lift Sojourner Truth up, to remember our battle for health care reform and some of the work that has to be done in the memory and the honor of these great African American women who fought the good fight, often with little or no resources. And it's our duty and responsibility to provide universal health care for the least of these. This is our moral responsibility. It's our duty, and we must do it. Thank you, and may God bless you.
Thank you. Excellent. We've also been joined by one of our good, smiling, strong attorney brothers from that city they named it twice. Won't you recognize and make our brother happy who's joined us, Congressman Gregory Meeks from New York. New York.
Oh, that's great.
All right. You know, as sisters, we know, and let me start back, giving honor to God, who's the head of my life. We know as women, we've always done all the work, from Revolutionary 100,000 since the beginning, and stood strong with our brothers that we might be next to them side by side in the struggle. So we always honor our brothers as we know that we will continue to work to build and to grow in the name of the Lord. I also want to acknowledge, and many of you may not know, or many of you will, this young lady who's done a lot with her own life. I had the pleasure in our steering committee to work with 3 doctors. PhD sisters, bad too. This one here I want to just present to you because I want you to know her. She's with us and is going to move around this country with us. She's done a whole lot for herself, and we're most proud of my sister, Dr. Vanessa Weaver. Thank you very much, Vanessa, for all that you do as we begin this journey, because the truth marches on. Then I know Gwen Moore, Congresswoman from Wisconsin. She was here earlier. She had somewhere to go. I just want to acknowledge her in her absence, Congresswoman Gwen Moore.
We welcome you on behalf of a higher power and the sisters that Dr. Van Zandt mentioned as we started over. We didn't just happen to be in this place this morning. Some higher power directed us here that we might rise up and build a new America and a new country for our children's sake. So when the bus was unveiled in the Congress, and as was mentioned, Congresswoman Jackson Lee in the House and Senator Hillary Clinton in the Senate led the legislative battle. We're all co-sponsors of it. We finally got it done, thanks to Dr. C. Dolores Tucker, thanks to Dr. Ife and others who came together to make it happen. There are no other African-American women statues in that big old building across the street. And it's not about the statue, it's about who we represent. We'll put the statues all over America as we save the children from whom we work for. We're going to introduce a small video, and we're talking about today leaving this place, and not just this event, but your whole weekend experience, and building a women's movement across America. Yes. Women of all nationalities and ethnicities, led by African American women, and inviting women of all persuasions to join us. We really do believe that the hand that rocks the cradle controls the world, and that when women are fortified and doing what we do, we're better. And all of you right now know children, and back over, I'm 60-something, so you know, back then, we were extended family always. We're losing our girls. Dr. Van Zandt has written a book, and I wish he had them with it, about young girls, and before we leave, I'm sure she'll tell you a bit about them. So the 60, 50-somethings, here's how we envision it. We will be like the helping you put this together for the 25, 45-somethings who we want to lead the movement, to speak. We want the 25 and up to 45-somethings to be that category. But we want the 15s to 23s to also mentor to the 6-year-olds on up. That's what the movement is about. That's what we're planning and organizing as we put this together, because really, the truth marches on. Are you ready for such a fight? Are you ready to bind together with sisters across this nation? We, the 14 members of the Congressional Black Caucus, want to be your partners. Our sponsors, and I'm so happy, and I'm just going to have them stand. I know they're going to be acknowledged later. We couldn't do this without people who believe in who we are and what we do. I want to acknowledge Prudential Life Insurance. Will you all please stand, please, wherever you are, Prudential people. Thank you, Sharon. Thank you, Wayne, and the rest of the family. Thank you. Procter & Gamble. We have a lot of things that we use in their network. Won't you please stand and let us say thank you to you. Thank you very much. They'll be working with us as we move across this country. And Walgreens, I didn't see them this morning, Elsie, but I know they also title sponsors. They put up money that we might move across the country. Walgreens, okay, hey. I just want to acknowledge you. We can't ever do anything without Ingrid Saunders and Coca-Cola. That's right. And come on, we appreciate you. Also, a magnanimous company, and we use all of their products too. I just want you to know this because they're partnering with us as we move out to save our children, to build strengthy families. General Electric, GE, where are you? You in here? Thank you. Thank you. So as you see, we're not playing, Claire. We're going to fortify what you do. We're not trying to recreate the wheel. We know that when the government steps back, we have to step up. I come from Rosa Parks country. She came to Detroit and lived within a mile from me all of my life since I was 12. So, you know, little Rosa Parks sat down so we can stand up. Yes. We've got to fortify our families, save our children, strengthen our seniors, and let us know that the truth marches on. I'd like to turn your attention to a short video that's been prepared in the name of Sojourner Truth, that you might turn your attention to the screen.
This dream began with C. Dolores Tucker. battle for Sojourner is a battle that must be won for history, truth in history, about a very important time in our history of women getting the right to vote.
In 1996, she opened her mail like 3 months late, only to find that the suffragist statue was going to be raised from the basement of the Capitol, where they call the crypt, and brought up. And on that statue, there were 3 women who were pioneering women in women's rights, but there was an empty slab, as Dr. Tucker called it, an empty slab just waiting for Sojourner Truth.
So when I see it in October and decide to write the 2 ladies a letter, where is Sojourner? They wrote me back, and they said, yes, she does belong there, but you know, it's past and all this stuff, and but we will let you have a picture of her up, you know, at the celebration, because they were getting ready to celebrate it, and all of this, you know. So I didn't accept that.
Well, of course, she became livid, and that was something that Dr. Tucker was known for. She was very passionate about all that she did.
So I wrote him back, and I told him no. I said, she has to be on there. And any dedication they had, we would picket it. And so we fought to stop it, but we couldn't.
All of us who knew and admired and loved C. Dolores remember that when she had her mind made up, you could not change it.
Her driving force was that she didn't want the children of America to come to the United States Capitol and be told an untruth, that African American women were not involved with the suffragette movement. She wanted the truth to be told.
If the first woman God ever made was able to take this world and turn it upside down, all these women's hair together ought to be able to get it back and turn it right side up again.
And just as many young boys and girls have walked through this Capitol, I see them now. And they see the bust of suffragists and hear the stories of the struggles of women, what they had to endure to gain the right to vote. Now, many young boys and girls like my own daughters will come to Emancipation Hall and see the face of a woman who looks like them.
First statue of an African-American woman in the United States Capitol. Thank you, C. Dolores. At this time, Congresswoman Lee and I would like to present the first Women of Truth Award posthumously to our sister, C. Dolores Tucker, accepting on her behalf a young man who I never saw C. Dolores without him right at her side. We love you, Bill Tucker. Please join us. That'd be you. That would be you. And Dr. Ife. Doctor, would you both come up, please? Dr. Ife Williams has continued the National Pro-Congress of Black Women. And on behalf of Dr. C. Dolores, maybe you. On behalf of the women of the Congressional Black Caucus, our committee and our movement, you know, an old African proverb says, as long as people remember you, you never die. She is always in our hearts. We are committed to the truth because the truth marches on. So on behalf of all of us, to Dr. Ife Williams and Bill Tucker, we say thank you and let us keep breathing in the name of our sister. We love you. Thank you.
I just want to make a comment. All right.
I guess you're short. Okay, go ahead.
I just want to thank the Congress caucus for this honor and this recognition of my wife's effort and what Sojourner Truth meant to this country. You could see that video was very touching. you could see that when she started the struggle, she was sick then. You could see she was not in good health. But she lived and breathed Sojourner truth for over 12 years. Is that right, Dr. Battle? Where are you, Dr. Battle?
Yeah.
It started in 1996, and every day, every hour, every morning, she would wake up with Sojourner truth on her mind, and she was determined that Sojourner truth was going to take her place in the nation's capital. But I want to say this, even though she's probably rejoicing to some extent, I don't think she's fully happy, because she would have demanded that Sojourner truth go in the rotunda.
We're working on that.
She would have demanded that where the other suffragettes are. And I don't think she'll ever rest until that happens, and I know it's going to happen. And again, thank you, and God bless all of you.
We love you, sir. Here, Bill.
Thank you so much. I know that I'm supposed to call all of you the Honorable, but I knew you when you were Diane and Sheila and Carolyn and Barbara and all of you. One of you was even my driver at one time when I came to your district to speak. But let me just ask the women of the National Congress of Black Women who are here today, would you please stand? Because this is for them. It is for you. We worked with Dr. Tucker for 12 years to get this done. I was her general counsel, and we thought $1 for truth, piece of cake. But when it didn't happen, when nobody was really excited about it, we went to some of our friends, and they came through. Barack Obama and Michelle Obama were our highest single donors, individual donors. We had Shell, we had Ford, who came to our rescue, Walmart, and many others, Senator Ed Brooke. And we thank all of you who gave even $1 to make this happen. When Dr. C. Dolores Tucker, who appointed me to be chair once she was gone, and she did it years before. That's a lesson all of us should take. Put somebody out there to take over for you and to get it done. And with the women of the National Congress of Black Women, we were able to get it done. And we know that it was a big struggle, but let me tell you, we have learned in this organization, it is from our struggles that our victories come. We thank all of you. God bless you. We love you.
Thank you. Thanks, guys.
What an honor, what an incredible, incredible honor it is just to be in this presence. Dr. Fay and Dr. Tucker, we love you both. I'm just so honored, you know, to just sit in the presence of these women is just exciting to me. I don't know about you, but I'm excited. Can you tell? And in our excitement, we missed one of our sponsors. So I want to make sure that we acknowledge our sponsor. I want to remind us, Walgreens, Procter & Gamble, Prudential Life. We got to make sure we know where we're spending our money and support those who support us. So let us also acknowledge and support the United Health Group. Please stand so that we can acknowledge you this morning.
Thank you.
It was our excitement. We just got so excited. It just kept going. Let me introduce and honor and welcome another powerful sister in our midst. I just have to do it because she's here and I just love her. Dr. Julianne Malveaux, President of Bennett College. Please stand up. We are everywhere, doing all kinds of good things. All right. Yes, my darling.
On that point, Dr. Malveaux, who is definitely one of ours, president
of Bennett College.
Of the only African-American female. Nope, Spelman. In Atlanta area. We thank you very much. The only thing I wanted to add is Dr. Malveaux has offered Bennett College campus to take our movement there. So we're taking you up on that.
All right. I have to acknowledge her. And there are others, I know we all stand proud in our way. We are moving forward. I want to introduce you to the next people. You know, we're trying to keep our time in order. I want to introduce you to three. I know I said two. I made a mistake. It's three people I'm going to introduce you to now. Mr. Joe Coleman, Tierra Holloway, and Congresswoman Diane Watson. Joe Coleman was commissioned by the Congressional Black Caucus Foundation to present our music today. He is former lead vocalist with the Platters. Now, don't act like you don't know who the Platters are. Don't act like that, because I know who the Platters are, okay? And he was commissioned to write a song in tribute to Sojourner Truth. Mr. Coleman also wrote the musical If This Hat Could Talk, a tribute to the life of Dr. Dorothy Height. He's going to be accompanied by Virginia Ray of Staten Island, New York, and Tierra Holloway will recite Ain't I a Woman. Yeah. She's a proud member of the Southeast Washington Tennis and Learning Center and was mentored by our own choir masters. Barry, we're so glad. Yeah. Frank got you on the prayer list for your center. Don't worry about it. We got you covered.
All right.
And she also performed, Tierra also performed at the unveiling ceremony of the Sojourner Truth bust at the U.S. Capitol. Now, Congresswoman Diane Watson, I'm telling you all this about them. You'll forget by the time they get here, but at least I did my job. Congresswoman Diane Watson has been in Congress since 2001. Yay. She represents California's 33rd district. She serves on the House Foreign Affairs Committee. She also serves on the House Oversight and Government Reform Committee, yes, and she will lead us in an affirmation which she wrote.
Amen.
And then she will introduce to you someone else. So we are going to move forward. Please welcome Joe Coleman, accompanied by Virginia Ray, followed by Tierra Holloway and Congresswoman Diane Watson.
Amen.
Thank you. Hello, everyone. Thank you so much. Thank you very much. Thank you, Yana. I'm so excited and proud to be here today to celebrate Sojourner and to celebrate all of these wonderfully powerful women. I'm like you, Yana. I'm excited. Oh, my goodness. Look and see all of these ladies that are doing great things. I was asked to write this song about Sojourner Truth, and I just want to explain it to you just to give you an overview. The song, I wrote it in the form kind of a work song because of her commitment to work and to service. So it has that kind of driving beat because she was always moving forward, and she walked across this country speaking the gospel. And I think if we can take anything from her, it's just knowing that we just keep on going, keep moving forward. I'll be joined by Miss Virginia Ray, who will embody the female part of the song, since it is about a woman. All right, so let's move forward, all right? In Webster County back in 1797. They labeled me a slave from the day God sent me down from heaven. They called me Isabella, well, I worked hard every day. When I paid my dues, I didn't run, I up and walked away because I am Sojourner, I am Sojourner, I am Sojourner Truth. The gospel far and wide for women's rights. I wrote a book about northern slaves because I lived my life. There came a day I met Abe Lincoln back in 1864. He said it's time to freedom flow. That's right, I told him so, because I am Sojourner, I am Sojourner, I am Sojourner Truth. Breathe the hand and breathe the land. Took the last goodies every night. 13 children seem so raised. Will fight for my people to my dying day. Don't nobody open doors for me. So the good Lord told me, let your soul be free. Let your soul be free, yeah. I am Sojourner, I am Sojourner, I am Sojourner Truth. Sojourner, you ain't nice. Sojourner, you ain't nice. Sojourner,